Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of The Intelligent Moron with Alex Silva. I actually finally brought out my warmer clothing this weekend, and I put away my spring/summer attire. I just put it all away. I was done with it because it was getting chilly. It was getting a little chilly willy out there. I first felt it during last week, a little late last week. I noticed that I was feeling like a chill in the air, just like in the house. Just walking around, chilling out, and I was like, I'm freaking cold. Like, this is not good. And then on Sunday, football Sunday, I woke up, went to go watch football. It was before 10 a.m. It's probably like around 9:30. 9:30, I parked my ass on the sofa to watch some Sunday football. And I'm like, I am actually freezing right now. This is not a good feeling. So that weekend, which was last weekend, I decided, you know what? Summer attire, shorts, t-shirts, it's time to go. You're out of here. And I put on some PJ pants, like these little I don't even know how to describe them, just like these really thin PJ pants that have a very soft material on. I put some socks on. I put a long sleeve shirt on, and I felt amazing, and it feels good. The winter weather is approaching. We're in fall right now, and the weather is calling for me to bundle up, not necessarily at the point where we need to flip on the heater. We're not quite there yet, but we are in bundle up mode. And bundle up mode is one of my favorite times of the year because it's not too hot, not hot at all. Actually, for most parts of the days, it's pretty nice. And then at night, it gets pretty chilly. So the day is pretty nice and the night's pretty chilly. And the night time is when, I really bundle up. And I feel nice and warm and toasty and cozy. It really makes me feel like, oh, yes, it's fall, finally. Ooh, it's cool enough. It's actually one of the greatest times of year. Now that we're finally in November, there's pretty much a very, very low % chance that I will have to wear t-shirts and shorts. I doubt it. I don't fully get rid of my shorts, when I put away my summer and spring clothes. I usually leave out the shorts, not my actual socializing and going out type shorts or going out for a day shorts, but I leave my gym shorts because I still go to the gym. I still work out. I have my gym shorts and shirts that I use. I keep those, but actual clothing, to do things, I just put all those in a bag and put them away and wait for the summer to bring them all out. Then bring in all my fall stuff. And when I did, I was like, dang, I have a lot more than I thought. So I was like, well, that's good because now I got shirts and short and pants for the week. I'm cool. I'm solid. And you know what it is, though? It's not only just a flip of the switch and a change of the seasons and a change of the scenery, but also, it feels like it's almost like a new type of, a spring cleaning type of feel when you bring out your new wardrobe. It almost feels like a new, challenge in a way because you want to get all this new stuff into your rotation and put all this stuff that you can't wear no more or you shouldn't wear no more and put it into storage and save it for the summer or the spring. It's a nice feeling. Now, you know what? Now that I'm mentioning it, now that I'm talking about it, spring cleaning is kind of cool. Now, I'm saying this from a 30-year-old perspective, so, if my listeners are a bit younger, you probably aren't going to understand this, but sometimes cleaning out your entire room or the entire living room or the entire bathroom is sometimes, it just hits sometimes. Sometimes it just feels right. And what I mean by that is, your brain, our brains, when we, are set with a task that we must complete, whether it be cleaning, maybe yard work, maybe some paperwork, maybe taxes, who knows? Anything that's like not in a form of like getting paid like work, but like a chore you got to do. Chores in general, I think, can sometimes be, in the strangest way, very, very, very therapeutic. It's kind of weird, but it's I've had experiences where I'll be cleaning out things. I'll probably just be like, tidying things up, right? Tidying up a dresser, my nightstand, desk, what have you. And then I'll move on to things that are, adjacent to that item, like maybe my bed, or, the floor, or what's underneath my bed, or these drawers, or that drawers, those drawers. It kind of spreads. The productivity becomes a virus at that point. It becomes an infectious disease at that point, where it affects like pretty much anything that you see. Like there was one time I was literally on a cleaning spree. I decided to clean my room into the hallway, a little bit of the living room and stuff like that. Then I went to the garage and I'm like, what if I move around this stuff and move this over here? What if I sweep this up? You got to be careful, because it's a good thing to be productive and do these things, and to, get into that spring cleaning type of mood. But also, you got to pick the day to do it. You got to pick the day to do it and like kind of prepare and do that stuff. And you know what? Knowing me, knowing where I come from, knowing my family, that was always never really the case. When I was a kid, when my mom was like, we got to clean up, it was always at that moment. It was always at that same moment, like now. We're not, I'd be like, Ma, couldn't we have planned this a month ago or a week ago, a few days ago? It was always now, clean right now. And I hated it. It was one of the worst experiences of my entire life was when stop whatever you're doing, quit the game, pause the game, stop watching this, and come and clean. That was always, when I was young, the worst parts, the most annoying points in childhood was having to clean things. Having to clean. It always felt so last minute. It always felt so like it must be done now. In reality, it doesn't have to be done at all. It doesn't have to be done now, especially. But I think it's just like you catch like a bug. You catch I need to clean everything now bug. And there's no cure for it. The only cure is like time. If you catch the I gotta clean right now bug and you clean everything, then eventually, you will succeed it and you will cure the bug. You will cure the I need to clean right now urge. Like it has passed and you've completed it and you feel satisfied, you feel good about yourself. You possibly move on to other things, or you kind of wind down. You're like, I did a good thing today. I cleaned. It looks nice. Mission accomplished. And if you don't do it, let's say you have the bug, and then you get it for a little bit, all right? And then maybe you clean a little bit, then you take a break. After the break, you're probably not going to want to come back and clean anymore. The thing with that spontaneous cleaning and all that shit, the virus that takes a hold of you, is that it's very short-lived and it's very intense. It'll be very intense for like the first hour or two. And then if you don't continue it, if you don't feed the virus and keep on cleaning, it'll slowly just die. And then you'll be a lazy POS yet again. And then you will be succumbed to, not wanting to do it anymore. And I've been on both sides of that, on that coin. I've had it, come over me and take a hold of me, and I clean literally everything that I see. And then I've had it where it kind of happens, and then I do something else, and then it's over. it passes, and then it no longer is affecting me. I've had both. I've had both times, and both times have really, really different effects. And I think that now, being the age that I am, I feel much more accomplished when I clean things. And almost, you know what? I feel like also when you get older, you just naturally inclined to be more clean every day and everywhere you are. Like, I remember when rooms were a mess for like weeks, places were a mess for days. Now I when I see like a little tiny little mess, I'm like, well, I better get rid of this now, or else it's not going to get clean and it's going to look like shit. So might as well do it now. I always kind of feel like it is my mission as a human being in the 21st century to have your area clean pretty much at all times. Pretty much at least like, why should it be messy at all? Like if I'm going to eat something, let's say I make something in the microwave when I use a plate and I'm done with it. And okay, first I make it, I go to the couch and I eat it while I'm watching sports, right? Once I'm done with that plate, a civilized person who is a functioning member of society and not a lazy POS should have the strength and the capabilities to at least take whatever plate that he was using, take it to the sink, rinse it off, at least, and get it ready for the washer. At least, right? You probably aren't going to catch me ever really like doing the same exact thing, warming up a plate of food in the microwave, taking it to the living room, eating it at the coffee table, and then leaving the plate there. That is like totally not going to happen with me. I think, as an adult, that I have grown out of that stage, that I have actually grown out of it, and that I am able to, have discipline and responsibility and accountability to clean up after myself. There's a lot of people out there that lack cleanliness, that lack discipline, personal responsibility, personal hygiene. I was at a fast food restaurant, not too long ago, and, eating a meal, chowing down, lunchtime. And, there's this grown man who's, also there too, eating at the restaurant, probably on his lunch as well. Maybe not. He didn't look super well kept. Didn't look good. Didn't look very presentable, to be out in the public, And I, was eating far too much food that he should have been, and was a slob about it. Left his tray there and just kind of left. He also smelled as well. And I was thinking to myself, like, what happened here? Like, who failed who? Did you fail yourself? Did your parents fail you? What happened here? I truly don't understand the courage, I guess, that some people have to go out in public looking like a piece of shit. Now I'm just gonna be very, very blunt with it. Like, what? Why? Like, I see people in public, public places too, in PJs, like PJ pants, PJs, robes, dirty clothing. Like, what we got going on here? You are above the age of 40. What are you doing? Now I understand, right? Not everybody can have clean laundry all the time. Emergencies happen. I understand. You probably were trying to eat a bowl of cereal at 3 o'clock. Or you just woke up and you want breakfast. You want cereal. And you're out of milk. Maybe you got to go to the store or something like that. Pick up some milk and eat your cereal at 3 p.m. Cool, whatever. Do you, I guess. But maybe have some decency to put on a pair of pants. You know, a pair of pants, maybe not super clean, maybe not. Give me the illusion. Give me the give me um the appeal that you actually tried to 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 uh, to present yourself to the public, to society, in a a formidable way, in a presentable way that you will be proud of. You know what I'm saying? Like, people showing up to places with PJs is like, okay, sure, here's your, get your milk and go. You know, I don't know. It's crazy when you see people out in public and dressed the way they are. It's like, what? Are you not embarrassed? Are you not ashamed? What's going on? Why? For what? Whom? Like, and also, you stink. Like, what is happening here? You ever heard of soap and water? You're an adult, right? Like, what? It's funny how, like, these things, like, don't, like, register with certain people. People can be slobs, in public. Like, I can be a slob too. Trust me. When it's a lazy day, I can be pretty slobby. I can be. But then, let's say things arise. I gotta be places. I gotta go somewhere. Gotta meet somebody. You for damn sure, you bet your ass I'm going to at least shower and brush my teeth and put on a fresh pair of clothes, deodorant, cologne. I mean, what happened? Has it become a trend to not wear deodorant? Is that a thing now? Is that like a rebellious trait that people do to send a message? Because wearing deodorant is one of the most, not verbally, but loudest signs of I don't care. It's like one of like the loudest things that anyone can do to show that they do not care about themselves or about the surrounding people around them. Because let's face it, we've all been there. We've all experienced this, and whether it be work, free time, it doesn't matter. When somebody's not wearing deodorant, it affects us all. It's a plague on a society. Deodorant exists. It's one of the greatest inventions of all time. You know why? Because the smell of body odor is horrific. Legitimately horrific. I don't care if you ran out of deodorant. I don't care. Find some, apply it, and don't stink. Enough is enough. You are civilized. You should be civilized. You should know better than to appear to other people smelling the way that you do. Why on earth would you do that? I can't tell you how many people that, I come across, and I'm pretty sure the same can be with any of you people too listening, where they're like, "Oh no, like you can't, I can't be near you. I can't. I'm going to throw up. I'm actually going to throw up. Like, please shimmy on out of here. Enough. I don't care. I don't care. Soap and water exists. Deodorant exists. Figure it out. I mean, I just can't take that. Bad personal hygiene is so bad. It's so bad. Like, how can anybody, I mean, maybe I'm just, I don't know, maybe I'm just too clean, I guess, but the same thing goes with brushing your teeth. Like, I understand that, after a while, you can probably get used to your own smell where it no longer bothers you. But with brushing your teeth, I mean, you can feel that you have not brushed your teeth yet. In the morning, night, whatever. And like, don't you want to get rid of that? Don't you want to feel nice and clean and fresh? And when you smile, like, hey, yeah, I mean, nice pearly whites. Don't you want that feeling? Well, I mean, like, I've seen some pretty horrific mouths in my life. Horrific mouths. And I'm like, jaw dropped. Like, do you feel that? Do you feel any of that? If not, we have a problem. Like a big problem. And it's always these, grown ass people that have this problem. It's like, oh God, what happened here? Somebody get this man a dentist, please. I cannot tell you how bad that I am so grateful that I am a person that has stuck with going to a dentist twice a year. Because let me tell you this, I understand that, we have state-of-the-art toothbrushes. This is the year 2023. Toothbrushes, the technology of a toothbrush has never been better than it is today. I mean, you can go all the way back to like 1975. I guarantee you that the toothbrushes back then are not as good as they are today. Were not as good as they are today. There's no way that you can convince me of that. Now, I haven't done the research on toothbrushes in 1975. Maybe I should have before this episode. But I can guarantee you that they probably were not. I'm going to throw in the probably. They probably weren't better than they are today. I mean, we have soft bristles, medium bristles, strong bristles, or is it Brussels? I don't know. On toothbrushes, we have water picks, we have dental floss, we have different types of dental floss. We have smooth, rough, scented, unscented, mouthwash, Tic Tacs, minty gum. We have it all. There is absolutely no reason whatsoever why your mouth should not be presentable. No reason whatsoever. Absolutely none. They even make portable mouthwash containers. That's right. You can take mouthwash on the go. You can freshen up after lunch. You can floss your teeth after lunch. Have you seen the package of dental floss? It is like the size of an AirPods pod, little case. If you can fit that into your pocket, you can fit dental floss in. I mean, it's simple. What has happened? What happened? What did you miss? Did you just get lazy? Did you just stop? What happened? Your gums bleed? Doc, my gums are bleeding. There's a way to fix that. You floss more. You gotta floss. The people who don't floss, I used to be one of them. Of course, when you're a kid, you don't floss. It takes up more time. You feel like it doesn't do as much because brushing your teeth, gets all sudsy and toothpaste in your mouth and bubbly, and you feel refreshed. You feel like you're done, right? You feel like you're done when you're a kid. Of course, I agree. I was there. I felt that too. Once you get a little bit older, the dentist is going to be talking to you in a bit more mature way, and they're going to be recommending you things like you should have flossed more, or maybe don't floss as hard, or maybe you're flossing too much and it's bad for your gums. Who knows? But for the most part, for most people, now I'm no doctor. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a dentist. So this is just my experience. With me, they tell me that I'm, flossing pretty well. In the past, they recommended floss more. Of course, growth and progression. You're not going to be at the same place your whole life. You're going to be changing, up and down. It's a process. And, once you hear that from doc, like maybe floss more. You better floss more than what you're doing because it is helpful to your hygiene. You can't just do one thing. You can't go halfway with what they're recommending you. When they say brush every morning and every night, you got to do that. You can't just take, brush once and that's it. It's that simple. Is it that hard to follow orders? Like, I don't understand. I truly don't get it. It's just, I don't know. I guess at this point of this rant, people just probably don't care about the way they look. Cool. That's fine. You do you, I guess. This is a free country. This is freedom. Freedom. This is it. You can go walk down the street. You can go buy a cheeseburger. You can go buy a slice of pizza. You can go buy fried chicken. And you can get pretty much as you want from those places without having to share with other people, distributing them equally. It all depends on how much money you got. If you got enough money to buy it, you can buy it. There is nothing stopping you. Oh, I want to go buy a car. You can go buy a car. If you got the cash, you can go buy a car. You don't got to wait for somebody else to go get your car or get a car that's similar to your neighbor. No, you just go get whatever you want. Whatever you can afford, That is the beauty of this country. And you can also brush your teeth. And you can also not brush your teeth. That's okay too. Might be disgusting, might be off-putting, but sure, yeah, you can, you can not brush your teeth, I guess. Back to the dentist thing. I kind of got off on a tangent there, but what I was referring to, what just popped back into my head was, even though that you think to yourself, I brush my teeth twice a day, I floss twice a day, mouthwash, and, I'm cool. As much as we do that, right? As much as we give our own teeth the great hygiene that they deserve, right? We owe our teeth to pretty much a lot of our enjoyment in terms of food consumption. Do you think that you're able to eat ice cream with bad teeth? Do you think that you can eat candy with bad teeth? Do you think that you could, drink cold drinks with bad teeth or eat a steak with bad teeth? What happens to bad teeth? Like, what's the end game for a bad tooth? The end game for a bad tooth that does not get treated, fixed, whatever, they yank it out or it falls out. Then you lose that tooth. I mean, don't tell me it's going to be, the same experience of you eating a slice of pizza with a full mouth of teeth versus a slice of pizza with no teeth. It's not going to be the same. It's going to be completely different. So you got to take very, very good care of your teeth. You got to. It's kind of, it's like the gateway to your happiness. It's what makes the world go around in a way. You're not going to be able to enjoy your food if you don't take care of your teeth. It's going to be painful. You're probably going to lose your teeth, So, as much as we brush and floss every day, you're not going to be able to get that fine cleaning that the dentist provides you. The dentist has these instruments that are designed to microscopically get rid of tartar and corrosion, plaque off of your teeth that your toothbrush, water pick, floss can't get as easily. And you're probably not going to be able to spend that much time brushing your teeth, flossing your teeth in the morning, like before work or, right before bed. You're probably not going to spend that much time. So you rely on the dentist to really get in there and give yourself a nice cleaning. Like, I would love if you could buy a homemade version of the toothbrush that they use at the dentist. The one that they they snap on like the little flavor of toothpaste and it kind of like spins. It's like a brush that spins. I would love to have that at home. I would love that because that would like ensure like a nice, at least like dentist quality polishing of my teeth. I would love that. I would use that like every day. I would throw out all my toothbrushes and be like, this is what I want. This is, I'm going to have some clean ass teeth here. And you know what sucks? It really sucks. Again, the beauty of this country, but also, you got to be careful. We have, we just had a holiday, sort of. We had a special day, Halloween, where what do? Dress up and eat candy. Do you know how much candy that they sell just on Halloween? They sell so much candy. Like, candy, what is like the prime ingredient in all candy? Sugar. What's like the most addictive thing in the world? Sugar. So not only are they banking on a holiday that is revolving on spookiness, costumes, and candy, but also the main thing that we eat has like the most addictive substance that you can possibly consume. And then you eat so much. Like earlier today, I just had like 1 or 2 pieces of candy, and I'm like, oh, look at this. I just had some more sugar, more, more. Just keep on coming. And you think to yourself like, oh, it's just a little fun-sized candy. What's it going to do? In my mind, I'm like, this doesn't count towards my calories for the day. I'm like walking around and I'm doing stuff, and it's like, yeah, this doesn't really count. But it actually does. It adds up, and it's like, oh, no. But yeah, I mean, like, can you believe that, man? I mean, every holiday that we have in the United States, I mean, not every, but like all the major holidays, Easter, Halloween, Christmas, those 3, for some reason, all like have like candy. They all like revolve around candy. I mean, you can tell, when you're in which season it's going to be in, when you see the Reese's peanut butter cups get their little egg spinoff, or when they get like a Christmas tree spinoff, or when they get a pumpkin spinoff. Like, what time it is. It's time for that holiday. And of course, what are they going to sell besides all the, the stuff that goes with those holidays? Candy, of course. The most addictive thing on planet Earth. This holiday is like stapled with candy, And I bet you dentists love these holidays because they know that people are going to be consuming so much candy, so much sugar. It leaves room for people to have too much, maybe forget to brush, maybe not brush as often, or something like that happens, and then you wind up with cavities, and like, oh yay, cavities, my favorite time of year. Crazy. It's insane. Like, you look at these things that we celebrate, which I love. I love Halloween. I love Easter. I love Christmas. But when you really analyze it, when you think about it, what it's all about, what they sell to you, it's insane. It's crazy to think about that. Like, they are straight up just like hoping you buy this stuff that is not good for you in order for you to feel festive and to feel like a part of the season, whatever that season is. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. So Halloween just concluded. I didn't watch many scary movies. I did not see many scary movies. I watched a couple scenes here and there. And I'll be honest, I don't think that a lot of these movies are scary, actually. They all seem like, I don't know. Again, I haven't seen like a full scary movie in a long time, but I was watching like it was just on TV, just kind of flipping through some channels, and I stumbled across The Nun, stumbled across Insidious, stumbled across Evil Dead Rise, and I watched like a little bit of each of those films, and they weren't really scary. They were just kind of like, I don't know, hideous, horrific. Like, Evil Dead Rise, I think that there was a scene where, spoiler alert, where this girl who's like, I guess possessed or something, like yanks the scalp off of some girl in like a cabin in like the forest, and that was pretty gross. Like, it was not pleasant to watch. But I mean, I didn't see the whole thing, but like, it didn't seem like very scary. It was more like gory, which I'm like, okay. I mean, it wasn't like something that would probably terrify me, if I'm being completely honest. Then I stumbled across a nun, and the nun, it wasn't too bad either. It was actually just like a lot of like nuns like praying and saying like prayers in Latin when the music got really tense and they were kind of being thrown around a little bit in a room. It didn't really seem very scary. It kind of just felt like, I don't know, very violent and not super scary. Maybe I caught it at a bad time in the film where it's not that scary, but when I was seeing it, I'm like, this ain't too bad. This ain't that bad. And then Insidious, it was just like a little point in the film where they're like discussing like this I don't know, this like umbrella thing or something like that. It wasn't like, again, I didn't see too much of these films at all. I saw very little, but they didn't seem like very, very scary to me. They didn't seem that scary. I'll be honest. Now, I did not see like a lot of it, so I didn't get much of the plot. Maybe if I was to see the plot, get a full look at the story, maybe it would kind of freak me out more, but it didn't at that point. I was like, whatever. I also, now that it's November, I decided to get the flu shot. I decided to go and get the flu vaccine. I mean, I haven't really had a terrible time with the flu in a while. There was that time that in 2019 where I was sick for like 2 weeks with the flu, and it was pretty awful. It was annoying. I hated it. Every moment I just hated it so much. And I got it in 2021, the flu shot, and then I did not get it in 2022. 2022 last year, I remember like around like Thanksgiving time, I wasn't feeling too good for a few days. It was kind of annoying, so I decided to this year prepare myself the best that I possibly can and get that flu shot. And I mean, I'm not sure if it works automatically. Probably doesn't. But we'll see how it goes. I wonder like if they got the right strain this time. Like, I'm pretty sure that for the yearly flu shots, like, they don't really know what strain is going to hit, or if they prepare the shot for the strain that's going to hit in the season. So like, I hope it's the right strain or close enough where if I do end up getting sick or, getting under the weather, that it's not like a major thing that affects me that badly. Not a person who enjoys being sick. I have broadcasted a few times while I was under the weather, and it does not feel good. It does not feel good at all. It ruins your day. Some people, I remember when I was in school, like in elementary school, high school even, where they would be getting, these guys were like sick every fucking week. I'm like, aren't you tired of like not, of being sick? Like, why would you want this? In what world are you like, yay, I'm sick again, I get to skip out and not do shit? Like, what? I don't know. Maybe people's immune systems are just not that great. Maybe they're just not that great. But also, and this kind of goes back to what I was saying about, brushing your teeth. We have, like I said, we have toothbrushes, toothpaste, floss, mouthwash, minty gum, Tic Tacs, all that stuff, right? If you're not feeling well, we have Emergency, we have Airborne, we have Robitussin, we have Vicks, we have Tylenol, ibuprofen, we have Dayquil, NyQuil, we have all this stuff. Okay, well, Dayquil, NyQuil is like when you are sick, and you want to make it through the day. But like, emergency is a good like immune system enhancer. So I'm pretty pro that. But yeah, it's that time of year when people are gonna start dropping like flies. I can already tell it's gonna happen. That's why I got the flu shot. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go in a little bit smarter. I'm gonna prepare myself, be prepared, and then just like really be rock solid. Hopefully this year, this fall and winter. One of my biggest pet peeves, also, man. I mean, I actually cannot stand this. Is when people show up to work sick. It is one of the worst things that you can do as a functioning member of society is to show up to work sick. And I'm talking like even like sniffly and coughing and visibly droopy, visibly like leaking. Like if you look like SpongeBob when he had the suds, get the hell out. Get out. Go home. Go to sleep. Eat some soup. Take medicine. Get out of here. I do not want to see anybody at the workplace under the weather. That should be priority number one if you are in a workplace, in a work environment with other people that are doing a job that, hey, their health is like important. If they're feeling good and healthy, they'll probably produce a better job. If they're not going to produce a good job. They're going to be bringing other people down. We need to bring back, we need to not shame those who don't show up to work because they are sick. I don't know what happened these past few years, maybe like, I don't know, a decade at least, where people just show up to work that are sick. I mean, the only thing good that happened from the coronavirus was that it actually kind of made people like take their health more seriously, I guess, in terms of like being sick at the workplace, not necessarily with like COVID, but like, hey, if you're like, you got the cold and you don't feel good, like, get the fuck out. It's not that hard. Like, if you have the time, get the hell out of here. Or even, get a doctor's note. You don't even need an actual doctor. Go to a clinic. Go to an urgent care. Get a note. Tell them you're not feeling well. They'll give you a note, and then don't go to work. It truly is, like, in my brain, pretty simple. I mean, I don't understand, like, why people can't get that through their skulls. Like, it's insane for me to see, like, grown-ass people show up to the workplace and they're like, like, no, this is unacceptable. Every time I see it too, I'm like, why are you here? And I will tell them to their face, like, you shouldn't be here. What are you doing? Get out. You're going to get everybody else sick. Well, like that too. It's like being sick is like a double whammy. You don't feel well, and then you can get other people sick as well. So it's like, what are you doing? Why are you here? Also, there's no way you can show up to work and be like, and be cool. You can't. You're not going to be in the zone to do whatever you do. Like, this is unacceptable. Legit, stop it. I hate it. I hope that, people, become more mature and just don't go to work when they're not feeling when they're feeling sick. It's that simple. It really is. It's like, come on, guys. This is not a game. You can't, I don't want you here not feeling well. Coughing, sniffling, sneezing. It's quite annoying. And I'll be a little selfish here. When I hear people cough uncontrollably, loud, disgustingly, it's like, oh my God, I'm going to vomit. Why? Why? Anyway, that was a rant. But yeah, hopefully the flu shot works. Hopefully it works. I don't have any problems in terms of getting sick. I'm at the age where I no longer get sick after getting the flu shot, which is a great thing. There was a point in my life where I had got it the day before. I had got it one day, the day after I went to school, and I felt absolutely terrible. Like, I felt like I was going to die, meaning I was exhausted. I had a fever. I was like shivering at the same time. And it was like the one time in my entire high school career where I had to go home sick. Yeah, one time in my entire high school career where I had to go home sick. In fact, I never really missed that much school when I was in, when I was young going to school. I guess I always had a pretty damn impressive immune system, which is, knock on wood. Thank God for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I don't want to be the bitch, the loser that's always getting sick and like, that would suck. That'd be terrible. But yeah, hopefully this flu shot works and that I'm able to conquer anything it throws at me. I don't know if it like kicks in like as soon as you get it. I'm not a biologist. I'm not a vaccineologist, but hopefully it works pretty well. Moving on to some sports. I want to talk a little bit about football, the NFL, some trades that happened. Some trades that are, in my opinion, pretty wild. Also some firings, pretty crazy. I guess we'll start with the trades first. The big ones, I guess you could say. Joshua Dobbs being traded to the Vikings after Kirk Cousins' Achilles is torn last week. Pretty tragic, pretty sad to see that happen, actually. If you saw the documentary series Quarterback on Netflix, which I did, Kirk Cousins is a pretty cool, nice guy. Hardworking guy, really likes football. Actually loves football, and is good at it. He's had some pretty bad luck in the past few years. Some on some pretty good teams, some pretty bad teams, some pretty teams on the bubble, but never really could get that far in the playoffs. I think he only has like one playoff win, and that's it. But nonetheless, tragic to hear. Obviously they're going to go with I think his name is Jaron Hall, is the backup quarterback for the Vikings. They're going to go with him to be the starter. And the Cardinals traded away Joshua Dobbs to the Vikings. And the Cardinals are going to go with, I think, their rookie quarterback that they have, even though Kyler Murray is still out, which was kind of weird to me because Kyler Murray has been cleared to be fully participating in practices, after tearing his ACL last year. But, now there's a chance that he'll probably come back within maybe a month or so. I don't know exactly when, but like sooner than you think, I think. Which is crazy because like the Cardinals are 1-5, I think, right now. Possibly 1-6. Like, is Kyler Murray gonna want to come back and like play for a 1-5 or 1-6 team, or just a very bad team at the moment? I would be inclined to say like he wouldn't want to do it. He wouldn't want to, but hey, you know what? Maybe like this is like his like period where he's truly gonna find himself as a quarterback and truly gonna find himself as what he really is all about. At the moment, he doesn't really have that many offensive weapons besides his running backs. He no longer has DeAndre Hopkins. He's gone. and his team isn't really looked at to be a contender at the moment. So if he were to come back, he wouldn't, I think, have the most eyes on him or on his team. So I think that, you know, he's going to be able to really like see what he's all about with a roster that has been, pretty much decimated and lacking star power, and in my opinion, and really see what he really is all about. If he's actually, how much does he care? Is he going to be is he still going to be looked at, by the Cardinals, front office and the fans as a franchise quarterback? I think that's still, you know, left to be proved. Like, I know he got the deal like 2 years ago, the big, massive deal. And I'll be honest, I don't think that he is, earned that in his play style and his just his production. Now, I know last year he got the ACL injury and he's been out ever since. But, just like what he's been able to do with the weapons that he had at one point, and then, the less and less weapons, has not been able to produce as much. I think that when he does come back this year, if he does, he's going to be really, put in a position where, like, okay, what do you have? Like, what are you really all about, Kyler Murray? And hopefully then he'll be able to prove me wrong, doubters wrong, and maybe make a case for himself that, he's still going to be a quarterback that people want to go and play for. And maybe that will probably, open up some more like appealing trades in the future. The next trade that was pretty big was Chase Young going to the San Francisco 49ers. I forgot that Chase Young was even like a good player at one point in the league. I'm pretty sure he got drafted in 2020 as the number 2 overall pick. And, his first year, he was pretty incredible for Washington. And he got his ACL torn, kind of like Kyler Murray, was out for like a long time. I think he was out for like the entirety of like all of last year. And I can't remember if he tore it in training camp or practice or, the end of his first season, but pretty sure he missed an entire year last year. And he has not really been a player that has kind of like gone to where he was his rookie season. He's pretty much been obsolete. I completely forgot that he was even like that high of a draft pick and that much of a, was looked at as like one of like the top defensive players at a time. I completely forgot about that. And he'll be reuniting with his old teammate at Ohio State, Joey Bosa. And with the San Francisco 49ers, they need at the moment a beefier defense. They really do. I think that if you add Chase Young to Joey Bosa, Fred Warner, and I'm missing a few guys on that defense that are just freaking insane. If you add that guy to that defense, man, that's going to be, he might be able to rejuvenate his entire career because he's been looked at as, he's kind of been overlooked, I'll be honest. We forget that he went number 2 overall in that draft. And I think that he'll have like a time to shine at a team that is in the position of going to the Super Bowl still, even though they lost 3 straight games. Brock Purdy has looked pretty questionable at quarterback. I think that the fact that he's on a competing team and a contender, that maybe he will find find a new love for football and a new love for competing and really break out. Because I'm pretty sure he's like healthy, like he's good, like his ACL is good and all that. He just needs the right system. I think that the Washington system has not been very good on both sides of the ball, even special teams. Very unmotivated, very unspirited, uncreative, and just like not really having a direction. I think that the San Francisco defense, while kind of shaken up right now, will be able to rejuvenate itself and possibly be a good landing spot for Chase Young. So, I don't know. That's what I think that's possible. Last thing I want to talk about was the breaking news yesterday. The breaking news that I was asleep for. The breaking news that, much of the people, on the East Coast had no idea up until the morning of. The Las Vegas Raiders finally fired Josh McDaniels and general manager, former general manager. What was his name? David Siegel? Let me see if I can find it real quick. I saw it. I just can't remember what it was. David something. Hold on. There it is. Dave Ziegler. Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler have been fired by the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, I'm not a Raiders fan, but I have friends that are, and my father is. And I root for them because I like to root for my father's teams. I like to see him happy. I like to see when his team is doing well. I'm a Rams fan, but, I got love. I can share that love. He does with me, I do with him. So I was like, when I saw the news, I was like, well, financially, not really good. They still owe the fucker a ton of money. I think $40 million is still owed to Josh McDaniels. But seeing what that guy was on that team, how he was viewed by the players on that team, and how he was he pretty much was a plague to that team. I think it's for the best, even though financially not the greatest situation. I think that, it's in the best decision to let him go. Now, I have a friend that is very, very vocal about Josh McDaniels as a head coach. And I won't be repeating what he says, but the general consensus is McDaniels is not a leader. He is not someone who will has anybody's back. He is not somebody who the players like. And his system seems very, very, very flawed. And he seems like he's trying to imitate what he had when he was the offensive coordinator in New England. And all that, what I just said, is a big red flag. And the fact that the Raiders were essentially buying into McDaniels, trying to do what he did in New England. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. McDaniels is there. Jimmy Garoppolo is there. Jimmy Garoppolo, I think, is not, especially now after what has happened in this year with the Raiders. I don't know if he can be a starting quarterback anymore. I don't think so anymore. I think that he gets hurt too much. He's too inconsistent. And I just feel like now we have enough tape on the guy that he has probably lost the reputation of being a starting quarterback. Now, that might just be all Josh McDaniels' fault for having that much faith in him. And, because he knew the guy. I mean, also, they brought in Jacoby Myers from New England as well, who was also a member of those Patriots. Now, I don't know if, who is really to blame. I wouldn't say it's... I tend to sway the way of it's never really the players unless the player is actually causing this much trouble. But, I think it actually might have been the coach. And also Mark Davis for allowing Josh McDaniels to bring in Jimmy Garoppolo and pay that guy so much money to be their starting quarterback. Like that to me is insane. Like he was fully buying into like, let me do what I did in New England to in Vegas. I'll make you guys like the Patriots. Where it's like, yeah, but the Patriots had fucking Bill Belichick, and they had who's on thin ice, and they had Tom Brady. Like, you had the best quarterback of all time. Jimmy Garoppolo is nowhere near as good as Tom Brady. Like, sorry. It's just like, I can't believe it's almost hard to believe that they were so all into what Josh McDaniels was preaching that he could do it. I mean, like, hey, I'll give you this, Josh McDaniels. You're probably a very good convincer. You're probably a very good persuader in your ways. But, now that we've seen how bad you were in Las Vegas, and even before that, how bad you were in Denver, I think now NFL GMs and NFL owners probably know never to give you ever again. To never give you a head coaching position ever again. Like, again, probably wrong financially for the Raiders to do this, but, in terms of spirits and in terms of morale and in terms of happiness, the best decision that they could have done was let go of McDaniels. And then you kind of think back like, well, maybe it wasn't Derek Carr's fault. Maybe it was all the head coach. And the head coach, he ran Derek Carr away. He ran away Darren Waller. He essentially made Hunter Renfrow not even exist. Like, you look at it, you look at what has happened. You examine it, and then you're like, holy shit, it was his fault. It kind of is his fault. Insane. I can't believe it. It's crazy. But now he's gone. Antonio Pierce is now their interim head coach. We'll see what can happen if they can turn that around. I know a lot of Raiders fans out there are sad boys right now. Sad boys and sad girls out there. They're very, very sad. Maybe, just maybe, a refresh, a restart. McDaniels is gone. Jimmy G has been benched. They're going to start their rookie quarterback. So maybe this is what they needed. A good cleanse and a restart. I think that it'll be better for them, so much better, that they got rid of that guy, because it did seem like he was a plague. I mean, you watch like interviews and just how he is on the sidelines. He does not seem like a very motivated guy at all. Like, without any sense of humanity or character, or like good traits, like good character traits. It did not seem like that at all. And it was just like, whoa, how could anybody play for this guy? It's insane. And that's going to be it for me today. People, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Remember, you can find this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube at Intelligent Moron with Alex Silva. New episodes drop every Thursday morning. Make sure to like, subscribe, rate, review, and do all that good stuff. And yeah, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And I will see you guys next week.